What is the role of an IT manager in corporate? When you hear the title IT manager, what's the first thing you think of? Is it the person you call when you've forgotten your password for the 10th time this month? Or maybe someone rushing to fix a server that went down? Most people see IT managers as the company's tech support heroes, the ones who deal with printer jams, glitchy software, and frantic calls about the internet being down. And look, they do handle that stuff, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. If that's all they did, why are they sitting in high-level strategy meetings with the CEO? Why do they manage massive budgets that can stretch into the millions? And why is their job consistently seen as one of the most critical for a company's success and security? The truth is, the IT manager leads a double life. They're part firefighter, part architect. Today we're pulling back the curtain to show you this dual role, from battling daily tech fires to making boardroom decisions that will shape the company's future. The idea that an IT manager is just a senior help desk technician is one of the biggest misunderstandings in the business world. It's a view that completely misses the strategic value they bring to the table. This video is about moving past the myth of the IT guy and showing you the reality. The IT manager is a central pillar of any modern business. To do this, we're going to use a myth versus reality framework. First, we'll explore the visible operational side of the job, the part everyone sees, which I call the firefighter. This is the reactive, problem-solving, day-to-day grind that keeps the company up and running. But then, we'll get into the hidden, strategic side of the job, the architect. This is where the real power lies. It's where the IT manager stops fighting fires and starts designing a fireproof building. This is where they align technology with business goals, manage huge budgets, and build the foundation for the company's future growth. Understanding this duality is essential, not just for aspiring IT managers, but for anyone in a modern company. If you're in IT, seeing the strategic side is your key to moving from a technical role to a leadership one. If you're in another department, understanding what your IT manager really does will help you work with them more effectively. By the end of this, you won't just see a troubleshooter, you'll see a strategic partner, an innovator, and a vital leader. Part 1. The firefighter. Let's start with the role everyone knows, the IT manager as the firefighter. This isn't a myth, it's a very real and demanding part of the job. This is the operational side, the keeping the lights on work that makes sure the business can function from one minute to the next. If the architect is planning for next year, the firefighter is focused on the next hour. This role is all about maintaining stability, security, and efficiency. It's often thankless work, because when it's done perfectly, no one even notices. It's only when something breaks that the firefighter gets the call. This part of the job breaks down into a few critical areas. First, and most visibly, is incident and problem management. This is core firefighter duty. An incident is just any unplanned interruption, anything from a single person's email not working to the entire company's website going offline. The IT manager's job isn't always to fix it themselves, but to orchestrate the response. Let's paint a picture. It's 3 a.m. An alert starts blaring on the IT manager's phone. A critical database server, the one that processes all customer orders, has crashed. The company is losing thousands of dollars every minute it's down. What happens next is a masterclass in crisis management. The IT manager doesn't just log in and start hammering out commands. First, they assemble the right team. They know exactly who to call: the on-call database admin, the network engineer, and the application support specialist. They set up a war room, which might be a real conference room or a virtual one on Teams or Slack. While the technical team is diagnosing the issue, the IT manager's role shifts. They become the single source of truth, giving clear, calm updates to anxious business leaders. They have to tell the head of sales how customer orders are affected, let customer service know when systems might be back online, and report progress to the CIO or CEO. They're shielding their tech team from this pressure so they can focus entirely on the fix. Once the fire is out, let's say the server is rebooted with a temporary fix, the job isn't over. Now they switch from incident management to problem management. The incident was the crash. The problem is why it crashed. The manager leads a post-mortem or a root cause analysis. They ask the hard questions. Was it a hardware failure? A software bug from a recent update? Did the server run out of memory? They dig through logs, performance charts, and recent changes. Let's say they find a memory leak in new software. The IT manager makes sure a permanent fix is developed and tested, but they go further. They ask, how do we stop this from ever happening again? This might lead to new code review processes or investing in better monitoring tools. They document the whole thing to make sure that knowledge isn't lost. This leads right into the second area, end user support and escalations. This is what most people think of as IT support. It means managing the help desk team, the front line of IT. The IT manager's job is to make sure this team is effective and responsive. They don't take every call, but they build the system that does. This means setting up service level agreements, or SLAs. For example, an SLA might say a password reset has to be done in 15 minutes, while a request for a new keyboard can take 48 hours. This sets clear expectations and gives them metrics to track performance. The IT manager also looks at help desk data for trends. If they see that 30% of all tickets one month are about the same app crashing, they don't just tell the help desk to work faster. They see it as a symptom of a bigger problem. They might start a project to replace that buggy software or set up training for employees who are struggling with it. And of course, the IT manager is the final point of escalation. When a VIP like the CFO can't access a critical report right before a board meeting, the IT manager gets the call. They need the political skill to prioritize that issue while still being fair to everyone else waiting in the queue. The third pillar is daily team management. An IT department is a team of skilled, often stressed professionals. Managing them is a job in itself. The IT manager usually starts their day with a quick stand-up meeting. What did you work on yesterday? What's on your plate today? And what's blocking you? The manager's job is to remove those roadblocks. If an engineer needs new gear, the manager gets the purchase approved. Beyond that, the IT manager is responsible for their team's careers. This means regular one-on-ones to discuss goals, give feedback, and just listen. They do performance reviews, set objectives, and find training to keep their team's skills sharp. They hire new talent and sometimes have to make the tough call to let someone go. It's about building a culture where people can do their best work, especially when things get stressful. Finally, there's the proactive part of firefighting, maintaining infrastructure health. The best way to fight fires is to stop them from starting. This involves constant proactive maintenance. The IT manager oversees patch management, making sure all servers and computers are updated with the latest security fixes. It's a delicate balance. A bad patch can cause more problems than it solves, so they need a solid testing process. They also monitor the health of the entire IT environment. They watch dashboards showing server CPU usage, network bandwidth, and storage space. By watching these trends, they can plan for future needs. If a file server is always at 90% full, they can order more storage. Before users start getting errors, they make sure backups run every night, and just as important, they test those backups to make sure they can actually be restored. This is the unsung heroism of the IT manager, the work that prevents those 3 a.m. phone calls in the first place. Part 2. The architect. If the firefighter's job is to keep the company running today, The architect's job is to make sure it can grow and compete tomorrow. This is the secret strategic side of the role, where they shift from being a service provider to a business leader. This is where they create long-term value. While the firefighter works in the business, the architect works on the business. This part is way less visible, but its impact is infinitely greater. The cornerstone of the architect's work is strategic planning and creating the IT roadmap. This is where the IT manager steps out of the server room and into the boardroom. They work directly with executives to understand the company's goals for the next 1, 3, and even 5 years. The business leaders say what they want to do, and the IT manager figures out how technology can make it happen. For example, let's say the CEO's new goal is to expand into the European market in 2 years. A firefighter-only manager might just think, "Okay, I guess we'll need some laptops for a new London office." An architect thinks on a totally different level. They immediately start translating that goal into a technology plan. They ask questions like, compliance. What about GDPR? We have to make sure our systems are compliant with Europe's data privacy laws. That might mean a total overhaul of our customer database. Dash infrastructure. Will our US data centers be fast enough for European users? We'll probably need to invest in a cloud presence in an EU region, like AWS or Azure, to reduce lag. Systems. Can our current e-commerce platform handle multiple currencies and languages? We might need new payment systems. Security. How do we secure a new office and remote workers in a different time zone? We'll have to extend our entire cybersecurity framework. From these questions, the IT manager builds an IT roadmap. It's a multi-year plan that outlines the projects, timelines, and resources needed to hit that business goal. It's not created in a silo. It's presented to the executive team to make sure the tech plan and the business plan are perfectly in sync. Of course, a plan is just a wish list without money. This brings us to the architect's second job, budgeting and financial management. IT managers are responsible for some of the biggest budgets in the company. They don't just ask for money, they have to build a business case for every dollar. This means understanding concepts like capital expenditure, CapEx, for big one-time purchases, and operational expenditure, OpEx, for ongoing costs like subscriptions. When the IT manager wants to spend, say, $500,000 on a network upgrade, they can't just say, "We need faster internet." They have to speak the language of business, return on investment, ROI. They might argue, this $500,000 investment will boost network performance by 400%, saving our developers an estimated 5,000 hours a year. At an average cost of $100 per hour, that's a productivity saving of $500,000. Plus, the new network will prevent 2 major outages per year, which have historically cost us about $250,000 each. That's another $500,000 in risk we've avoided, so this $500,000 investment will deliver $1 million in value in its first year alone. That's how an architect thinks. Third, there's vendor management. Modern IT departments don't build everything themselves. They rely on a huge ecosystem of vendors like Dell, Microsoft, and Amazon Web Services. Managing these relationships is a strategic function, and it's way more than just ordering laptops online. When the company needs a new system, like a CRM, the IT manager leads the process. They might issue a request for proposal, RFP, evaluate vendors, and run demos. Once a vendor is chosen, the IT manager enters into a high-stakes negotiation. They're not just haggling over price. They're negotiating contract terms, service levels, and penalties if the vendor doesn't perform. These contracts can be worth millions, and a good negotiation can save the company a fortune. The fourth role is cybersecurity, governance, and compliance. A single data breach can destroy a company's reputation. The IT manager is a key leader in protecting the company's digital assets. This goes way beyond installing antivirus software. It's about creating a complete security strategy. They work with legal teams to enforce IT policies and ensure the company complies with regulations like SOX, HIPAA, or GDPR. This also means creating a disaster recovery plan. The IT manager has to answer the ultimate what-if questions. What if our main data center gets hit by a hurricane? What if ransomware encrypts all our files? They design systems like off-site backups to ensure the business can keep running no matter what. And they don't just write the plan, they test it with regular drills. Finally, the highest function of the architect is driving innovation. The best IT managers don't just support the business strategy, they help create it. They're always looking at emerging tech, like AI, machine learning, and automation, and figuring out how it can give the company a competitive edge. They might propose using AI to analyze customer data for new sales opportunities, or use automation to free up the finance team from tedious tasks. They actively work to turn the IT department from a cost center into a value center, a part of the business that actually generates revenue and drives growth. The architect role is about foresight, strategy, and leadership. While the firefighter is winning today's battles, the architect is drawing the map that will win the war for years to come. The resolution, the synthesis. So we've looked at the two very different yet connected lives of the IT manager, the reactive firefighter and the proactive architect. The myth of the IT guy just fixing computers falls apart when you see the whole picture. The reality is a dual role that's essential for any modern business. The firefighter is the guardian of the present. They are on the front lines every day, making sure the company's technology keeps working. Without a good firefighter, the business would grind to a halt. The architect is the visionary of the future. They operate where technology meets business strategy, building the framework that allows the company to grow and compete. But here's the key. Real success doesn't come from choosing one or the other. It comes from mastering both. An IT manager who is only a firefighter will keep things running, but the company will never evolve and will get left behind. An IT manager who is only an architect might have brilliant ideas, but their grand plans will collapse on a shaky foundation. The best IT leaders are masters of this balancing act. They can spend their morning in a budget meeting with the CFO and their afternoon in a war room leading the response to a massive outage. They have to speak the language of code with their team and then turn around and speak the language of ROI with the executive team. Conclusion: as you can see, the role of an IT manager is way more dynamic and influential than most people think. They are protecting the company's present while building its future. Now, I want to hear from you. Which side of this role surprised you more, the intense world of the firefighter or the high-level strategy of the architect? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're an IT professional looking to jump from a technical role into leadership, understanding this duality is the most critical first step. If you're ready to learn about the specific skills you need to become both a great firefighter and a visionary architect, I recommend you check out the next video on the screen. The 7 skills you must have to become an IT manager. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that demystifies careers in tech. I'll see you in the next one.